to use nature, to use their body, their mind, their spirit to be that healer that is yearning to come out. So that's my work and that's my mission, and I know that leads me here on this page on your show.
Ashe. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I want you to tell us a little bit more about the workshop that you are having coming up, which is called Holistic Medicine Women. If you could just go a little bit deeper into that, and then we will go, then we'll kind of go from there.
All righty. All right. The training is based on the two texts. First of all, it's a 12-week program, and what I'm excited about is that it's a teleconference, so no matter where you are, you don't have to go to the train, the bus, the plane. You don't have to take out 12 weeks from your life, but you're able to walk the journey fully. So it's a teleconference and face-to-face, and it's going to be done simultaneously. So while I'm in a circle of women and I'm talking to them and they're seeing me, then they're also the women who are hearing me and feeling me, and we're working together and we're bonding. And we're starting to recognize each other, know each other, and begin to support each other on our wellness quest. What's different and what's wonderful about this training is that normally when women are traveling from a distance, I would give intensives, and those intensives would be Friday to Sunday. And you would learn the basics, and then you would unfold it. I would say once you get the information, you know how to decipher the works, then over the next 12 weeks when you go home, you will then begin to unfold it. But they wouldn't have me holding their hands and guiding them and moving them through that way. And this is like a happy medium because they'll be able to meet me every Wednesday from the teleconference and the face-to-face. So the teleconference from 6 to 8:30, and for an hour and a half we will go through the Sacred Woman 9 Gateway Principles, which I'll go over some of those, and then for an hour into the training we'll be going into overcoming an angry vagina, journey to womb wellness, the 5 portals, and then we stop at 8:30, and those who are face-to-face, they will begin to do for 30 minutes. They will perform the womb yoga dance poses, and with the breath, with the consciousness, with the movements, begin to master their own bodies. Those who are teleconference, I'll be sending them a DVD of the womb yoga dance poses and movements, and they'll put that in, and whether they're working with a group of women or they're working individually, they will then also perform those movements with us. So at 9 o'clock, we ring the bell, and we would have done the 3 hours, or the 6 to the 9, the 3 hours together. Now, in that period, to give you an example, what are you going to be learning over the 12 weeks? Well, the first week, we're starting November the 17th, and that is our Holistic Medicine Women Reception and Orientation. And you're going to meet everyone, the ones who are there physically and the ones who are there through teleconference physically, because we're still moving forward together. Then then I'll go over an overview of what I'm saying, some of what I'm saying now. The second week into your journey, you would then begin your sacred womb, new physical womb healing. Simultaneously, you'll work on overcoming angry vagina, introductory work. Then the next week, you go into the sacred womb on a spiritual level, all of the baggage that we've held on in our hearts and our souls, sometimes for decades, sometimes for years, and we keep this secret in, and that secret is eating away at our souls. And I think about the womb centers and overcoming is that you have 3 womb centers, and we're going to identify those and see where all the baggage is so we can begin to clean that out, clear the way. Because I see it as what we think in our consciousness, we create, we birth. What we think, what we feel in our hearts, what we harbor, we birth, we create. What we think and what we feel, it translates as a language in our womb. So if there's heavy bleeding, if we keep getting reoccurring STDs, if we have several abortions that we've gone through, if there was incest, if there's heavy bleeding and clotting, if there's a fibroid tumor and you had it surgically removed and then it came back again, and now possibly a hysterectomy, we can catch that, and we can begin to shift that energy around so you don't have to go through such womb trauma, that you can literally have a womb rebirth. A sister just called me today, and she said that she's 52 years old, and she's taking Lupron to put her to early menopause, to age her womb, to age her body, and then they'll give her a hysterectomy. And I said, why? She said, well, I'm bleeding. I said, well, you can arrest the bleeding. You just have to change your lifestyle, clear out your tubes. Someone else, a brother just asked me, I did a workshop just before coming here, and he says, I have an ex-girlfriend who wants to conceive, and they're still friends, and he honors her as that friendship, but she can't conceive. And I said, well, her tubes are more than likely clogged up, and they're filled with plaque from the junk foods and the stress and the anxiety and not getting enough oxygen and not doing enough movement, and she's probably constipated, which is the colon sitting on the bladder, both sitting on the womb. So these are things that you're going to learn in a womb life in these 12 weeks. You're also going to be learning from Sacred Woman the word, the power of the word, and what you speak, you create. And the words should be hekau, words of magic, words of power, words of transformation, not destructive words. The silent killers are the worst words, the words we speak to ourselves and put ourselves down because of the words that we've heard as children, as teenagers. We didn't hear always the positive, and so we have those running tapes that are actually controlling our lives. So we're going to align ourselves, recalibrate ourselves to begin to speak words of medicine. And we'll move into the next gateway. All these are gateways. We go into Ta'ert, using food as medicine. We go into Beth. Many times we're stuck. We just can't break cycles. But we're not doing the work to break the cycles. We're not looking at the issues enough to begin to channel the information. So you will also learn to wake up the spirit of Nebet Het, sacred space within us. And in us is the guardian of the heavenly realm. And what she does is she appears in the hours of right before dawn, coming into her place within you at 4 o'clock, and then really activating herself in your subconscious at 5 and 6 o'clock. And any question that you may have about life, about why the recurrent relationships, why are you still suffering, how can you overcome, I will be teaching you how to go into your inner being and ask those questions, retrieve them, get the answers, and then begin to take the walk. And many times we do hear, but then we don't follow through. Maybe we don't have enough encouragement or movement to follow through. But that's the purpose of the circle. That's the purpose of us working together, because so many have called me up and they're reading the book Sacred Woman, and they get stuck. They either get stuck in the world of Newt, because it's 120 pages of a lot of work, the womb scroll and the guardians, and what does that all mean, and how practical it is, and how can I bring it into my life, and the roadmap. And it's just to learn the tools so that whatever comes up in your life, there are answers, and the answers are not more outside of you than the answers are from within. And then we'll meet with Sekhmet, the fiery healer, and learn to make our medicine bags for our long trips and for big groups or small groups or for ourselves. And then we go into the gateway of Ma'at, and we begin to heal our heart. We are holding grudges for our mothers, for our fathers, for our mates of past, for our girlfriends, and all of that is causing a cesspool of anxiety and stress. And Ma'at ruled a whole nation, and the whole nation was based on 42 laws of Ma'at, and those laws was on the shoulders of a spirit of the woman, and her name is Ma'at. And so the work is going to come into Ma'at. Is one of the things is forgiveness. And that's where the forgiveness comes in overcoming. In order to overcome, you have to first recognize that every lesson is a blessing, that every experience was a lesson in there. And once you decipher, what's the lesson here? Get out your way, take a healing bath, take your green juices, and you'll begin to hear. And you won't run from it. You say, oh, that's why I keep doing and creating, and that's why that is happening again. And then you start listening deeper, asking the question deeper. So what can I do to overcome? What can I do to heal my condition? What can I do to lighten up my heart so that my heart doesn't become rotten, doesn't become enraged, doesn't become shedded and ripped apart? How can I mend? So we bring forth the feather and the lightness of the heart and how to go about doing that. And we move ourselves into the seat of Ast. Ast is a seat of power where you are. And where is your power in your body? It's in your pineal gland. These gateways reflect your anatomy. These reflect your spiritual anatomy. From Tahuti is the throat, to Nut is the womb, to Het Haru, and Ma'at is the heart, and Sekhmet is the bloodstream, and Ast is the pineal gland, your consciousness, and the lotus, which is the ultimate, the lotus woman. And that's where the portals and the gateways, they blend. and they blend at that point, because in the cover of Overcoming, you will actually see the lotus, and inside of the lotus is the uterus. And we birth so much pain, and it's time to birth a new world, a new family, a new children, a new relationship, a new being. And so in our birthing, our seat of creativity and creation, we are allowed to see the mud, because in the mud are the lessons of life. So you're able to use all the lessons, just like I use clay, and all the women will be getting the clay as a part of their 7-day detox kit with the women's circle. And in that mud is the nourishment, are the lessons. And then in that mud also is the lotus seed. If you just have a seed of clarity, you can find your way through. And so you begin to wash and bathe and pray as the weeks go on, and meditate and journal as the weeks go on, and come off of the flesh food and the junk food and the processed food and do the forgiveness work. And you continue to go through until you get to the 12th week, which is Nefertun. And then you blossom. You come out of the water that you've washed yourself over those days and those weeks, those 12 weeks, and you come to the top of the water, and we say lotus. I say lotus, you say blossom. Lotus blossom, which means we have blossomed, we have come into our fullness. Not half women, not angry women, not stressed out women, not women who are not able to overcome and let go, but healed up, charged up, fired up, loving, healing medicine women. And so with that, I have buried over 7 healers in the last 10 years. And the healers were all in their 40s and 50s. And there's something I had to reflect and say, okay, what happened? What happened to us? Because I'm a part of the us. What was going on? Sometimes we overgive. Women overgive. Men who are profound healers, they overextend. And so we'll talk about how to preserve yourself as a healer once you learn the lessons. So women anyone who has taken massage therapy or color therapy or aromatherapy, or practitioners of wellness, they need to take this training. All they can do is add to where they are and what they're doing and how to be effective, because most of the ones who are going to come for wellness are going to be women. And to be able to be astute on women's issues and to be able to help women and their issues, they're going to have other things going on. They're going to have diabetes, high blood pressure, stressed out relationships. But if you learn these texts, if you learn these works, and you begin to walk this walk, when you complete your 12 weeks, you'll have strong circles with women. You'll be able to strongly teach them the womb yoga movements, and at the same time heal your life and keep your life charged and lifted.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
I want to get a little bit more into what is an angry vagina.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know some of the listeners are probably like, what does she mean by that? So can you go a little bit into that?
Yes, indeed. An angry vagina. I'm going to read a little bit from the book. First, I want to give a dedication. The book goes into dedication. This Overcoming Angry Vagina, Journey to Womb Wellness, is dedicated to the 4 directions: East, West, North, and South. Women globally, alone in relationships, satisfied, struggling, blissful. This is to happy, vibrant, luscious, joyous wombs, to sensitive, supportive, loving partners of women who have angry vaginas, to unborn babies that may be born of parents who have overcome the negativity of angry vaginas or a hostile penis, to those who suffer from broken, hurt, and unresolved womb trauma, to wombs and souls who cry out, no more suffering, to an anonymous little girl who had an abortion at age 11, to a young sister who contracted womb cancer at age 16 as her mother stood by filled with anxiety about how to help the child of her womb, to women who frantically informed me of her fourth miscarriage. She had lost 4 babies exactly in the 4th month of each pregnancy, to the many women in the quest of hysterectomy prevention, to women who have had a hysterectomy and are ready to reclaim the spirit of their wombs, to women and men who suffer from AIDS and viruses and STDs, to my daughter and my granddaughters and my sons and my grandsons, to a new world reaching for a charge. I dedicate Overcoming an Angry Vagina, Journey to Womb Wellness, to women on an inner quest to new womb stories and lives of rebirth, hope, love, and forgiveness, enlightenment, restoration, and empowerment. And to the men